Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amara and thank you for being here. I am so happy. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 of you. Oh my goodness, that is like a huge milestone. I am so thankful for everybody for the likes, thumbs up, thumbs down. I love all of you sharing the videos and subscribing. I am so thankful for everybody. So in today's video, I'm making a blanket for one of my favorite people. So I thought, okay, let me take you all along with it with me. The blanket is broken herringbone pattern. That's what it's called. I learned it from one OGs of finger knitting. I learned it, so I'm going to be making a blanket in that pattern. The colors I'm using, this is oatmeal and this is dove. Both colors are from Joann. And the blanket is going to be a big blanket. I already wrote down the number of rows, how I have the vision in my head. I kind of wrote it down to help me bring it to life. And hopefully that works out well. It's a big blanket, so I hope that helps bring the vision to life. And without further yippee yappy, let's get into it. So it's going to be in three phases: how I cast on and then make the body of the blanket, how I change the color, how I'm going to cast off when I'm done. That's going to be like three parts in the video. I'll try not to make it too long, but stay with me and let's get into it. All right, so we're ready for the blanket. And to make this blanket, of course, you need your chunky yarn. Like I said, I got this from Joann. This is oatmeal. This I got my scissors, I have my lighter, and then I have my guide for the pattern or for the blanket. So to start the blanket, you make a slip knot. This is the tail, and this is going to be our working yarn. You pull tight, not too tight so the yarn doesn't snap. Then I'll be making these 3 fingers wide for the cast on. They're going to be 3 fingers wide each, and I'll be casting on 35 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's count and make sure we have 35 chains. I'm supposed to have 35. 1, 2. This is 35. I add the last one that will be going up. This is 36, but it's going up, which will be number 1 on the second row. I really want to be sure I made this right. Then I flip it over. That's how I knit. I flip it over. Reason why I have it 35 is because I love the ends to be knit. The end stitches are going to be knit, and then the whole broken herringbone is just going to be in the middle. I like having the ends of the blanket or the edges of the blanket knit. That's why I have an odd number. Then, like I said, this is number 1 on the second row. So I will be pulling through the dragon bombs. If you spread this, it has like 3 parts: 1, 2, 3. So I'll be going through the middle part of each loop. Each loop I'll be going through the middle part to have it's called dragon bomb. So I skip the first one and then I go to the second one. So I pull through each of them. Hopefully by the time I'm done, I still have 35 stitches. Otherwise, I will be starting all over again because I have problem with counting. For some reason, I have a problem. Like I can make a blanket and count and count and count, especially the cast on. Despite being knitting for over a year now, I still have trouble on the cast on because I miscount either I count lesser or I count more than, and then I have to redo it. But once I get the cast on right, the body of the blanket is a breeze. Now I'm just pulling the first row. Is that you go through this middle one or you go through the top parts. It's it's just a matter of preference. So whichever method works for you, that is easier for you, you can stick with that. And I'm almost done pulling through. This should be the last one. And I'm going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. Yes. So this is it. We have pulled through the entire loops and we have 35 stitches. So now the main pattern begins, which is the broken herringbone pattern. Now it begins. As I said earlier, I like to have my ends knit. So I'm going to be skipping the end. I'm not going to be knitting this twice. I'm just going to leave it. Then it's going to be twist. So the herringbone is you twist in the direction you're walking before you knit. So you twist and knit. That's it. Then the second one is knit. So twist, knit, twist, knit. That's that's basically it. That's the broken herringbone. So a trick that I use, the ones that I twist, I kind of make the loops bigger so that when I twist it, it's not affecting the size of the blanket. That's a little trick that I've used or that I've learned making herringbone stitches. You kind of want to make it a bit bigger than every other loop so that when you twist it, it's not too small. So you twist in the direction you're walking and knit. Then knit the second one, regular stitch, twist, and knit. That's the pattern. And that's the same pattern I'll be using for the whole body of the blanket. So I'll be doing this for a few more rows. Then when I'm about to change colors, I'll be back and show you how I change my colors. So I twist the last one and then knit again. So now I put my walking yarn to the left, which is the direction I'm going back. So this is what we just have 2 rows, so the pattern is not really that visible. When we get like 5 rows, you now see what the pattern is looking like. So now we're walking from right to left. So I'll be twisting towards my left. So I twist and knit. Then knit this one, twist and knit, then knit. So that is how you achieve a broken herringbone pattern. Okay, so as you can see, the pattern is beginning to form. So this is the herringbone, and this is the broken herringbone, broken herringbone. I believe that's how it got its name. But so far, it's looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and knit a few more rows on this. The oatmeal is supposed to be 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 now, so I'm going to knit 7 more rows. And when I'm changing the color to dove, I'll be back to show you how I change the colors. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back. I've knitted 12. I've knitted 12 rows of the oatmeal, and now I'm going to be changing the color to the gold. And I'll show you real quick how I change the colors. I like the burning method. Some people like to tie them together, which is fine, but I prefer to burn the ends together. I've been using that for over a year with all my blankets, and I've not had any issues as long as I do it correctly. So before I knit the end stage is where I'm going to be changing the colors. Just before, after I knit the last one or second to the last one, I change before knitting the last loop for this pattern. So I'll cut it right here and get rid of this oatmeal. So now we are going to be working with the ivory. I'm going to trim the end, then take this out and burn them together. So I try to expose, there is like a plastic in here. There's a plastic in both of them. So burning or using the burn method is kind of like melting the two together to fuse it together. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And whoop, I hold it for a few seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. So once it's done, it's cool. I pull. I make sure to pull. But sometimes when you pull, you see it's unraveling. So I make sure to pull that it's not coming apart. And once it's not coming apart, that means we are a go. So I continue knitting once more. So the same pattern that we've been doing is the same pattern we're doing all through the blanket. I knit the end. I don't double knit it. I go ahead and continue the broken herringbone, which is twist, knit, twist, knit. I am having a good feeling that this is gonna come out really nice. So I'm on the second row. Oh, the second part, it's supposed to be like probably like 8 or 10 parts to the blanket, like color changes. And I measured it, it's measuring about 45 inches. The width is 45 inches. So when I'm done with the whole body, I'm going to be measuring it to know how much. I'm aiming for 60, like 45 by 60, or at least close to that. But we'll see when we're done and see how much it measures. So that's the second part of the blanket. I've showed you how I cast it on, how I made the body of the blanket, and this is how I changed the colors. Then when I'm done, I'm just going to go ahead and knit in the background. When I'm done, I'll be coming back to show you how I cast off or how I finish off the blanket and tidy it up. So yeah, that'll be the last part, how I no, twist. That'll be the last part. Sorry. So that'll be the last part, how I cast off the blanket and finish the ends, like the the tail that we have there. One good thing, oh, one thing I will say, this is beginner friendly. It's just the same thing that you're doing all over. You're just knitting and twisting, knitting and twisting. So I would say it's beginner friendly or intermediate. I don't know how to grade those levels, but it's really easy. and shouldn't take you long to make depending on the size of the blanket you're making. Like this one, I expect for it to take me about 4 hours or less. Well, because I'm making a tutorial, making a video, it might take longer than that. Okay, so we are almost done with the blankets. This is the last row. So I'm just going to knit a few more and then cast off. One trick that I've learned over the years is that before casting off, you want to make sure that the yarn you have left is at least 3 times the width of the blanket. So you want to make sure you have at least three of like this, 1 2 3, the length of the blankets. That way you don't run out of yarn, or at least that should be enough to cast off the blanket. So I'm just going to finish these few stitches, and then we'll cast off. Okay. I like using the dumbbell to keep them on top of the kitchen counter. That's where I like to knit for now. Okay, so we're done. Now to cast off, I knit this end and then knit it again. So this is the only time I kind of double or triple knit. So let me show you that again. So this is the last stitch. I knit it the first time, then I knit again the second time. This is so it kind of angles properly going towards the left. Then to cast off, I pull and then cross over. That's what I call it, pull crossover. And when you cross over, you want to make sure they're at least 3 fingers wide so they have the same size as the bottom parts. Pull, crossover, pull, crossover. See, that way it's angled properly, which is really good. Then why you're making sure it's 3 fingers wide is so it doesn't like reduce the size of the blanket or make it look funny here. If it's too tight, it's going to pull together. So you want to make sure you have 3 fingers wide at the very least when you're casting off. Uh, this one is too big. Okay. So that's how you cast off, pull, and crossover. Pull, crossover. I'm going to finish up real quick and I'll show you how I tidy it up. We are almost at the end. And then this is the last one. Pull that through. While you're still holding it, pull this one through. Then pull tight. Not too tight so it doesn't snap, but tight enough to make a knot. I like to double knot. I don't know why, but I just like to double knot it at the end here. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. Where's my scissors? Okay, my scissors are lighter. So I'm going to trim off just a little bit. Then this is what I do personally. I just loop it in. Not too tight, but just loop it around and find the sweet spot. I'm going to burn this part to this. This is so this one doesn't start unraveling with use or wash. Just hold it. Yep, it's not coming apart. And that's it. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the tail part or to the bottom part. Okay. The same thing I did, just going to make a second knot here. Go in. One more. Okay. I'm gonna cut it here. Then burn it again. This is just how I do it, just to make sure it's properly secured, it's not coming apart, like with use and frequent washes, so it doesn't start unraveling. So this is what the finished blanket looks like. I think I have it upside down. Let me turn it. Hopefully you guys can see it. It took about 3 hours. Yeah, excluding break, because I had to take a break. But that's the finished blanket. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if it really helped you. And I'll see you all on my next video. Bye.